everyone to Aquarian Alchemist Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's video is going to be a pick a card reading, and the theme today is going to be what do I need to let go of in my life. Often on our journey we think of what we need to add to our lives to improve them, make them better, feel better, enrich them, but taking away things and making space for the new is also very important. So we're going to answer that question today. We're going to be starting with the I Am Affirmation deck. I will put a link I will list all the decks in the comments section, so if you're interested in purchasing one of the decks, you can find it. I'm going to start as usual with a quick grounding, and if you want to skip right to your pile, there will be timestamps. So let's just start by sitting or lying down and closing your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale, and another deep breath in and exhale. And now I want you to imagine that the bottoms of your feet have opened up and some beautiful roots are sprouting from them, traveling down through the floor beneath you, down through all the levels that are underneath, down into the ground, through the grass, through the dirt, through the rocks, the gravel, the clay, making their way down, 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 through to the center of the earth, which can be a beautiful paradise if you like, or it can be hot lava, the magmic center of the earth. And you can imagine your roots wrapping around something very strong and sturdy. Could be a tree, a pipe, it could be a rock or a bench, whatever you like. Use your imagination. Wind your roots carefully and quickly around that object. Take a breath in and let it out, and another breath in and let it out. And I want you to just sit there and feel very, very secure and very held in place and very grounded. Okay, you can open up your eyes, and now we're going to connect with Spirit, Source, the universe, God, Allah, Yahweh, the divinity of creation, and ask for help with determining what do we need to leave behind in order to make room for new growth. Thank you. We're shuffling with intention. Okay, we're just doing 3 piles today. Okay, so let's turn them over, and then I will place the crystals if you like to pick with the crystals. The first pile, pile number 1, I am balanced. I remain upright and steady in body and mind. Very, very important. That is really good. I like that one. Like a rock, solid. I am grateful. I appreciate all that I have and all that I've created. That is also super, super good. To be mindful of the things that we have in our lives that are good. Even the things that we have in our lives that we are not so fond of, we can be grateful for them and hope that they pass through, flow out of our lives. Pile number 3, I am successful. I accomplish everything I set my mind to. Okay, so if you want to pick with crystals, I'll do that in just one moment. If you want to skip ahead, feel free to skip ahead to the using the timestamps to the pile of your choice. Okay. So pile number 1 is going to be this Milky quartz. Pile number 2 is a Lapis Lazuli. And pile number 3 is a Carmelian Agate. Okay, so pick the pile of your choice. I'm going to do the selection of the piles. If you would like to watch that, feel free to watch that. If not, feel free to skip ahead. We're going to begin with the Enchanted Map Oracle cards, shuffling with intention, asking Spirit, what do these piles and the people watching need to let go of from their lives? Thank you. What needs to go to make space for something new? I'm going to do a little shuffle here. It may not be very relaxing sounding, but thank you. Next, we're going to take some cards from the Starseed Oracle deck. This is a beautiful deck that I received earlier this year for my birthday. I do feel identified with the Starseed, I don't know what you could call it, as a Starseed, that I was formerly incarnated elsewhere in the universe, but I do believe that my last few incarnations were likely on Earth. I am very, I do believe in reincarnation myself. It's okay if you don't. I absolutely respect differing opinions, and it's not that I necessarily remember details of my past incarnations. There's 2, okay, but I do feel very strongly when I listen to things about reincarnation, or I listen to things that I couldn't possibly know are true. I just get a bit of a tingling sensation, which I have come to know as my intuition. Okay, I'm gonna take a couple more of the I Am Oracle cards. And just one more for each. Oh, okay, pulled it too, so we're gonna go with that. Oops. That was a bit of a messy shuffle. Thank you. And lastly, we're gonna do tarot cards from this beautiful divine tarot of the divine. Thank you. All right. Okay. High pile number 1. So you chose I am balanced with the Milky Quartz. And this one says I remain upright and steady in body and mind. So our question today was, what can we let go of so that we can let more of what we need into our lives? And this could be, so you may have selected I am balanced because you're already feeling very balanced. So you may feel like there's nothing that you could possibly need to let go of at this point. And you may be right. It may not be at this point that you're ready to let go of things or that you need to. But keep on the lookout, because there may be things that you're not aware that you need to let go of, but that the universe, your higher self, can see from a higher vantage point what you may want to let go of, because you can do more. There's more planned for you. Your mission is not yet fulfilled. But if you chose I am balanced because you were drawn to it and you're not feeling very balanced, then it's often that we're drawn to things that we need. So bringing more balance into your life, and often what needs to happen in order to have balance is to recognize the things that we're doing that are taking up a lot of our time but not bringing a lot of value to our lives. So if you're spending a lot of time watching TV and eating junk food late at night when you're feeling very tired, maybe you need to balance your entertainment with your sleep a little bit better. Or maybe if you're having a lot of headaches, maybe you're not having enough water to drink. So it needs to be a balance. Too much of anything is not very good for us, but not enough is also not very good for us. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. Actually, I'm going to pull out the other I am card. I am patient. Okay, so patience is important, especially if you're already feeling balanced. You may be wondering, okay, what's next then? Like, what's the next thing? What do I need to do if in fact there is more coming for me and I do need to let go? Well, maybe the time isn't right, but being patient is very important. I breathe and trust that everything is unfolding for my highest purpose. And this is part of the hard part, is that we as a species want to control things. We want to know what's coming. A lot of us don't really like uncertainty. Certainty is one of the human basic needs. Some people do better with uncertainty than others, but just relaxing, and each moment that you find yourself feeling maybe anxious or uncertain, just take a breath and say, right now I'm okay. Right now I'm okay. Right now I'm okay. We're going to look at the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. Magic Stream. Beautiful. Okay, Magic Stream. Next is Sacred Pool. Okay, a lot of water here. A lot of water. Magic Stream and Sacred Pool. I will probably take a look at the book because these cards are new to me. We've got the herring, I think, and then we've got a woman floating. Okay, let's take a look at our Starseed Oracle cards. A new earth, it's happening. Keep holding the vision. Beautiful. Big picture thinking, Pleiadian energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Okay, yeah, big picture. That's kind of what I was referring to in some way, that we can't always see the bigger picture from our vantage point. And we have whale and orca elders. Okay. And now we're going to just take a look at the tarot, and then we can go through and figure out the reading. Eight of Coins, another bird reference here. Holding on to something. The Tower. The Moon. And the King of Swords. And the Seven of Coins. Okay, let's take a look here. What does pile number 1 need to let go of? Well, I get the sense that you may need to let go of some worry. Trusting that things are going to be okay may be difficult for you. I know worry, we don't mean to worry, and sometimes we think that if we're not worried, things will fall apart, things will fall into chaos, but often worrying doesn't really do anything except stress us out and really build up as tension in our body, which is not good. One of the things you can do if you're holding on to a lot of emotion in your body is to do a practice of release, such as yin yoga, which really focuses on releasing stored energy from your joints and your fascia, which is the connective tissue. Not the muscles, but the connective tissue. I'm just going to take a look at the book for the Enchanted Oracle, just to get a bit of insight on these two. So we have Magic Stream. Everything is connected through the universal flow of consciousness. Every experience you have seems to have its own little life story with a beginning, a middle, and eventually an end. However, there is danger in seeing events as separate from one another. Yeah, everything's connected, since in fact they are all part of a continuity and a greater evolution. Like an ever-flowing magic stream, your experiences filter through the whole world, one leading into another, informing and influencing still more. Inspiration, invention, and revelations rarely come to just one person. The collective awareness is a shared storehouse of potential. When you remember you're part of the fluid continuity of life, you become a channel for great inspiration. Allow the magic to flow through you and carry your dreams into reality. Letting go of... Okay, so letting go of this idea of duality, that we're separate, from others, but we're not. We're all really connected by forces like energy. We're not connected by something that's visible. It's just something that we can feel, and we all really have to do this together. There's no other way. As much as there's some people we think, oh, I could not possibly be connected with them. I could not possibly, move along a journey of ascension with them. But there is no other way, and it really would be beneficial to us to all examine these people that we feel repelled by. What is it about them that is so undesirable or so repellent? And often it's something that we're rejecting in ourselves, something we won't allow ourselves to be, would never want ourselves to be, or we have been at one time and don't want to go near that in any way. Let's take a look at the sacred pool. The world is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Ah, exactly. Okay, so that's what we're kind of talking about there. When you see something in another person that you're rejecting, you may be projecting onto them what you reject in yourself. Embody the love you wish to see in the world. Yeah, it's definitely something we need to all be aware that we need to clean our own house. And when we clean our house and everybody else cleans their house, we get a lot of really good things happening in the collective. When you look into the mirror, do you like what you see? This card asks that you focus on self-love and self-esteem, reflect by the sacred pool, and be at peace with yourself. A detached self-examination made with rigorous honesty is called for now. Okay, so yes, we need a lot of honesty with ourselves, especially, and authenticity with others, and being confident enough to speak your truth to people, even if it scares you, even if you feel like they might reject you. Can you see how far you've come and how magical your life is? Do you notice the spark of the divine shining through your eyes? When you're conscious that you're the embodiment of spirit, it becomes easier to act in good conscience. Then you'll reap the greatest rewards. Your unique service to the world is not only needed but celebrated. See the love within you, and know that if you cast it upon the waters, it will return to you tenfold. Be at peace, for you are beautiful and loved. Act with surety and confidence, and success shall be yours, whatever your inquiry. Okay, so what we are being called to let go of, pile number 1, is the doubt. Don't doubt yourself. Let go of the worry. You let go of the fear. It does not serve you. It may feel like you're keeping yourself safe by trying to control everything around you, but it is an illusion. We cannot control our outer circumstances if we do not control what's going on within us. A new earth, it's happening. Keep holding the vision. So pile number 1, you really need to focus on letting go of those thoughts that you don't want to happen. Just recognize when they come up, accept that they're there, and then let them pass, and then replace them with something that you really want to bring into fruition. Don't try to you don't need to try to tell yourself you're bad if you're thinking things that are fearful or scary or upsetting. We need to work a little bit harder at observing what's going on inside us, especially when we're in, like when we've hit a trigger, something has happened and we're reacting to it. We need to really be mindful, observe yourself having the reaction. And it is when we begin to observe these things in ourselves, when we begin to be able to focus on what we're doing, that pattern can begin to dissolve and disappear from our lives. Big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Usually when there's a little bit about one of the star races, I like to read just to give us an idea of what they mean by Pleiades energy, because I'm still learning about all the different star races, and you may be too. The Pleiadians are our cosmic cousins. They're here to remind us that it's never too late to learn new things and change the future. You're being called to be a visionary for the planet, to take a breath, shake off what you've been taught about the world, and hold a new vision for humanity. Okay, there you go. What you need to let go of is this societal conditioning that we've all been indoctrinated into. We really need to examine our beliefs, examine why we do things we do, examine why we feel we have to do things a certain way to be loved, to be accepted. If something doesn't feel right in our lives, examine it, ask questions, and hopefully you can get some answers for yourself. We have whale and orca elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. So yeah, just sharing your unique message is super important. Tune into how you feel around certain people. don't like to say how people make you feel, because I feel like if we're not aware of how we're feeling, and we place the blame for how we're feeling at any given time on external circumstances, we are giving away our power. So I think it's really important to just begin to be aware of how we feel when we are around certain people, when we are in certain places. Just really start to be more conscious of how the energy feels and how it affects us. Okay, we're going to get into our tarot. So it looks like some of the things that are going to be challenges for you are going to be holding on, gripping on to things, and not being able to set yourself free, not being able to see the beauty that's around you, just really being focused on what's wrong. And often when we focus too heavily on what we don't want, we just get more of that, more of that, more of that. But if we can be grateful, if we can find small things to just in each moment, that something that we like, even if we're having a hard time, we can begin to release ourselves. And there may be some things in your life like addictions or habits or patterns that you just feel like you're in a hamster wheel and you just can't seem to get out. But that's where the patience comes in, and just really bringing awareness, the balance where you let go of things that are, you recognize this is not actually serving my highest good, so this one can go and this one can go, and just being open to parting ways with things when it just no longer seems to suit you anymore. And it can be people too, relationships, jobs. Purging things from your house can be really helpful. It looks like you're going to go through some sort of turmoil and new beginning. Things may come to an end for you with, like I said, either relationships or perhaps your job, or maybe you're going to leave a city where you've been living for a long time. It could be patterns that you're going to be letting go of and starting something fresh. So there will be some turmoil for sure, but just being ready for it, being open to it, just being really brave in the face of challenge is helpful for weathering that storm. And you may need some time for reflection, pile number 1. Just time to really assess what matters to you, what's important. Often we're kind of taught that material gain and success are the most important things, and getting that career and working your way up the ladder, and at the same time, you have to find that perfect person and then get married and have kids and buy a house and have the cars and travel. And there's all these ways that we compete with other human beings, and we just need to make sure that, are those things actually bringing us joy? Are those things helping us to serve others? Are those things helping us to connect with spirit? Are those things helping us to love ourselves? And if the answer is no to those things, then some of those things may need to go. So don't be afraid to take time to yourself, to assess your life, to do an inventory, and to figure out what really matters to you. And we have King of Swords. And this one, there may be some things that you're really holding on to. You may feel like you need to defend either parts of you that you're not ready to let go of, or new changes coming in. Sometimes we resist change, so there could be some resistance to these changes, but ultimately you have wings. You can fly. If there's a problem, you can fly away. You can fly away from danger. So you don't need to be so stuck in your ways. You can learn to be open to change, because ultimately it will be for your highest good. Seven of Coins. Yeah, to me, I get the sense that this one is signaling that you will need to begin to realize that though monetary gains, material gains do have a purpose, they do play a role in our lives as people in this world. They are not everything. They do nothing for your soul. You cannot take them with you when this life is done. So just be really mindful of what you place the most value on in your life. And that is your reading. A little bit of a quicker one today. I hope this helped you, pile number 1, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for joining me. Hi, pile number 2. So you chose I Am Grateful along with the blue Lapis Lazuli. And gratitude is a very, very important part of our lives. It can really help you, especially if you're having a hard time to just, it would seem counterintuitive. It would seem the last thing you want to do when things are going wrong is to be grateful. But there's always something to be grateful for. Even in the most destitute situations, there is always something, right? I'm breathing. Thank you today that I woke up and I'm breathing, even though it may not be a very happy existence for some people that are really suffering in this world. The alternative would be death. So sometimes when we compare to that, it can really help get some perspective. Okay, let's take a look at your cards here. Okay, so we have, I am well-rounded. My skills and capabilities enrich my life and those around me. I am aligned. My thoughts, words, and actions reflect my truth. That's beautiful. Okay. And we're going to look at your Enchanted Map cards. So we have Balancing Act. Oh, well-rounded Balancing Act. And Bone Collector. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at our Starseed Oracle cards. First one is Star Keeper, Cosmic Ancestor. See the light by staying grounded. Wait, it's not yet time. Things are being woven. Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Okay, now let's take a look at your tarot cards. The Emperor. Two of Coins. Temperance. Knight of Cups, the Hermit. Okay, so I'm just going to move these down. So our question today is, what does pile number 2 need to let go of in order to move forward on their journey? So I am grateful, I am well-rounded, I am aligned. Okay, so it seems that you are somebody who is able to see the bright side, who is able to see the glass half full most of the time. Okay, so let's get into the top row. I'm just going to move these ones down. So I'm getting the sense that you put a lot of pressure on yourself. We've got well-rounded, aligned, balancing act. And I just get the sense that you're a bit of a perfectionist, pile number 2. And that's not a bad thing, because you probably have accomplished a lot of things. But it can be a lot of pressure on you to always be on, to always be performing, to always be the best. And I'm getting the sense that you need to let go of that, let go of the importance of the opinions of others, of the expectations of other people, and just focus on what you want to do. Focus on what's good for your journey. Helping people is important on a journey of service to others, on that path. But if you're wanting the approval of others, you're really more looking for validation, and that's not really helping them. So what we really need to do is to let go of having so many things to do, having a packed schedule. You may be somebody that, just doesn't have a lot of balance in your life. You're being called to reassess, what is it that's important to me? What do I want to accomplish? And look at the things that you're doing with your time. Because in this day and age, we all tend to feel like we have too much to do and not enough time, right? But if we really take a look at what we're doing with our time, and we may realize that there are things that we're doing. For example, maybe you don't have time to exercise. You feel like exercise is something that is just not workable with your schedule. Maybe you're very busy at work. But all it takes is 20 minutes, even if it's not every day, even if it's only 3 days a week. Go for a walk, 20 minutes, or do a free workout video on YouTube, 20 minutes, or do a yoga video before you go to bed, 20 minutes. You don't have time because you're not making the time. That is an excuse. So let go of excuses. Excuses are not helpful for you either. I want to just take a look at these ones in the book, because these ones don't give a lot of description. It's really entirely intuitive, and I just want to get an idea of how they saw these cards being read. You are calm within, no matter the fluctuation of outer conditions. There are times when things seem a bit topsy-turvy, and it feels as if you're juggling 1,000 balls in the air. Perhaps you're unsure of your footing. Now is the moment to evaluate which areas of your life need balance, and then restore equilibrium. So yeah, taking inventory. Choose harmony over discord, and great success will be yours. You'll find inner stability when you choose a balanced, focused, and level path. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be really important to just anything that doesn't resonate with you anymore. Be open to letting it go. Be willing to let new things, if you want new things to come into your life, you have to be willing to let go of what is no longer working for you. For me recently, that's been my more high intensity exercise, my getting up at 5 in the morning and having a very elaborate morning routine, and then exercising before work. Lately, it's been yoga. It's been the odd workout, lots of walks, lots of stretching. It's not, it's okay to change to what you feel you need in that moment or in that season. It's okay to adapt to what's changing within you and not know why. Maybe you ask questions, maybe you resist, but in the end, you have to kind of follow your inner guidance, because your higher self knows what's best for you. And if you trust it, it can be really good. Bone collector, you're whole and have everything you need within. When the bone collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances and see if you're fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt and accept a version of the truth that then sets us up to behave a certain way. Yeah, so we have our conditioned patterns and behaviors, and we behave according to what we think is societally acceptable. When faced with a situation similar to the original event, what we know about ourselves thus becomes influenced by a perception of limitation. Let go of limitations. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable or expect to be criticized. The bone collector reminds you that the truth is that you are a powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding and is here for you as you reclaim it now. You have everything you believe you lack, and the bone collector is your inner resource. Act as if you have what you need, and you'll find you have it all. Anything is possible. With awareness, the wounds of the past need not define you. Okay, so definitely something that you need to let go of is past trauma. Release old stagnant emotions, and like I said, that can be something that's stretching and deep fascia release through yin yoga can really help a lot with that. Okay, let's take a look at our starseed cards. Starkeeper, cosmic ancestors, see the light by staying grounded. So grounding, like we did at the beginning of this video. If you didn't watch it, that's okay. You could go back and check it out, or you could look up grounding meditations. Grounding is something, even if you're not a meditator, you can go outside when the weather's nice, take off your shoes and socks and walk in the grass. That will ground you. Grounding is going to be really important. We often focus on our higher chakras, but our lower chakras are really important for keeping us really solidly planted here in the now. It helps us to be in the moment more and more, which can really strengthen our focus and help us, because a lot of when we have depression, we're looking back and replaying what happened, and all of the telling stories about what happened to us or what we did to other people, and really just focusing on something we can't change anymore. And when we have anxiety, we're projecting into the future, constantly worrying about the next thing we're going to do, or what might happen, what catastrophe will be coming next. So it's important to really just stay in the moment. And when we ground ourselves, that really helps us physically to be here. Wait, it's not yet time. Things are being woven. So trusting in timing is super important. So maybe letting go of that impatience that you feel, letting go of needing to be in the future all the time, of needing to go on to the next thing. Every time we accomplish something, we're moving on to the next goal. Just take time to really, you know, when you've accomplished something, take time to really revel in it and appreciate that moment and be grateful for it. Forge, don't follow, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. Yeah, here's another one that's giving us the example of letting go of the expectations of others. Somebody, you know, your parents want you to go to law school, but you want to be an artist. Well, then that is your choice. Yes, it's going to be difficult if they're really, you know, if they're really the type to want to control what you do in life. But if you follow a path that is not what you really want, you will also suffer consequences for that choice. There will be consequences, benefits, and drawbacks to any choice you make. And in the end, there's always a way to do it that sort of lessens the blow. So maybe find a compromise. Maybe you take some classes in law to see if it's something that you actually would like to do, while at the same time taking classes in art, and then make the decision later on. They may be appeased by that, that you made the effort to entertain what they wanted for you. Okay, let's take a look. So we've got the Emperor and the Two of Coins, and it seems like you may carry a heavy burden on your back. There may be something on your heart that needs to be released. You may have maybe a parental relationship has been blocked. Maybe your mom or your dad or both, you don't have a very close relationship with them, or maybe they passed and you didn't get to say what you wanted to say to them. And it's okay to talk to them, even if they have passed on. You can talk to them, just imagining that they're somewhere in heaven or on a beach somewhere enjoying, you know, that they're enjoying their afterlife, or maybe they've reincarnated. And if they are alive still, you can write them a letter. You don't actually have to give it to them. It's about processing these emotions. Maybe you do want to re-engage that relationship, and that's going to be something that's really going to be beneficial for you to work through, because it's something that's weighing very heavily on you. It's quite the burden, but I do see you being able to take that challenge on. Here we are back to temperance. We have temperance and balance. You have the well-rounded and aligned. So you are very capable of doing many things, but it's going to be important not to multitask, not to take on too much, to really just begin to slow down and to begin to really just focus on one thing at a time, and how well can you do that one thing, and then move on to the next thing. This will help you stay grounded in the present moment more and more. And it's okay that we're not always 100% in the moment. It's human, but the more that you're able to recognize, oh, I'm not in the moment, and to come back to the moment is going to be really key for you. And I'm getting the sense that there will be some sort of a journey coming up for you. So maybe you need to do some traveling. Maybe you need to let go of some of your material possessions in order to buy the plane ticket, so that you can go on that adventure. With the Knight of Cups, yeah, I believe something new is beginning for you, but it may be something that you're guided to do, but that you have to do alone, solo. Maybe you've left a relationship and you're feeling kind of more brave to embark on a new journey. You're feeling like you need to move into the next phase of your life. So letting go of kind of, you can do a cord cutting. That's a really good way to energetically let go of relationships. even current relationships with people. If you have conflict with them, you can do a cord cutting, and that will energetically distance you from some aspects of that relationship so that you can start fresh. I've definitely done that with relationships that are still ongoing. Another thing you can do is just give over any problems or challenges that you face that you don't feel that you're equipped to handle over to the universe, to God, to Source, and give those over for healing, transmutation, and help. Okay, pile number 2, that is the end of your reading, and I hope that you have a really good day. I hope you're able to let go of the things that you need to, and to keep forging ahead on your journey. Thanks, pile number 2. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So you chose I am successful, and you chose the Carmelian Agate. It's actually the first time I've used that one in a reading. Okay, let's take a look at your cards. I'm just going to pull out the additional. So we have I am elevated and I am passionate. My awareness is always expanding as I rise to my highest good. I give my whole heart to everything I do. Okay, and the question that we asked, sorry, I should have already mentioned that, is what does pile number 3 need to let go of in their life to allow more into your life on this path that you're on? So let's see what else we come up with here. So we have wishing well, field of dreams, breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe, cracked open, rock bottom, sorry, I'm just going to focus, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. I'm going to go through all of these. I'm just laying them out first. Portal, doors are opening. You decide. Rewards, wild card. And your tarot, we have the Queen of Cups. We have 10 of Wands. We have the Ace of Coins. The Magician. It's one of my favorite cards. And the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, pile number 3. Let's see what we have here. I move these ones down and focus on the top row for now. So what do you need to let go of? What do you need to release? Successful. Okay, first when I see the success come up, I think fear of failure, fear of success. So you may need to release. A lot of us have these wounding patterns, and we can have both a fear of success and a fear of failure, but we succeed through failure, right? The more we try at something, and it may not always go well, we may fail, we may fall, we may quit, but it's the getting back up and trying something new, or the getting back up and trying again, that helps us to achieve our goals. So I accomplished everything I set my mind to. So letting go of letting go of expectations of yourself, of expecting that you're going to get it right the first time, of expecting that you're going to, if somebody else is really good at something, that you're going to be good at it too, or expecting that if somebody else failed at something, that that's also going to be what happens with you. It's just be open to what comes through. Be open to the possibility that things will work out for you, but that they may not work out the way you think they're going to work out. The universe doesn't always give you what you want, but the universe always gives you what you need, and you may not realize at the time when you're going through something hard that it is a test from the universe, that it is something to help build your character, to help build your strength, so that you can take on the next challenge that the universe has planned for you. But the problem is that we have to trust, because we cannot always see from the higher vantage point that the universe has. I am passionate. Passion is super important. When you follow your passions, you can really, and when you're aligned and resonating with the things in your life, you can really, you can really put your heart and soul into what you want to do, a labor of love. And you may have to let go of those kind of expectations you put on yourself to be perfect, or to do it all, because nobody can do it all. There's things that we need to balance in our lives, otherwise we get burnout. We need to be able to recharge our batteries. Okay, so we have wishing well and we have field of dreams. So to me, both of these kind of say that you need to let go of this linear thinking that everything must be planned out and you can't dream of what you want, that it's not realistic to have the things that you want, especially if they're kind of more childlike dreams and aspirations. But becoming more childlike can help us to have a lot more fun in life. It's not easy once you become an adult to go back to being joyful and carefree like a kid, but that really is the goal. That is what we are trying to achieve, is joy and happiness and peace in our lives. And children really do have that. It's the adults that kind of try to set all these boundaries and ground rules. And yes, we need to learn these things, but we need to be in the world but not of it. So it's important to understand the way things work, but not to subscribe too seriously to the ways of the world, because ultimately they are a form of control and we want to be free. Okay, so let's take a look with these cards, because they don't give a lot of insight. I sometimes like to read a little bit of what they say in the book, just to give an idea of how the authors of this deck, the Enchanted Map Oracle cards, how they saw this. So this is obviously copyright to them. Wishing well. Desire is the sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. Okay, so they're telling us right there, we need to let go of attachment to ownership. Let go of control and just let things flow. Because when you're trying to control, it's like you're paddling upstream and it's difficult. But if you just allow yourself to flow with the rapids, then it's much easier. Desire is the most important impulse for creating life. Now you're seeing the relationship between desire and inspiration, and sensing that moment of truth when you feel the inception of new life. It is an aha moment when everything makes sense. Perhaps you recognize a soulmate, or conceiving a baby, or an idea. The wishing well card awakens you to the presence of unseen unseen forces that enable new beginnings. Divine intelligence activates the field of possibilities, where new life is co-created in a magical way. Neither you nor anyone else can know how or why this happens. It just does. To that end, you can't really control the process of growth. There we go, can't control it. Rather, you must step aside to be a channel for higher forces and relinquish any attachment to how this new creation should appear or when. Okay, so the how and the when are not within our control. Form your intention. Take action by dropping the coin into the wishing well, then trust in spirit. Prepare to be amazed. Okay, so if we can release our need to control, if we can let that go out of our life, we can make way for what's actually coming, for what the universe is bringing to us. We just have to trust that it will come at the right time, and it will come in the right way. It may not be the way that we thought or the way that we want, but that it is for the highest good. Field of dreams. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are always engaging the vast field of pure potential. This is the perfect time to harness the field of vast potential not yet realized in your life. Great abundance is yours if you're willing to do the work alongside the gentle gardener. Be clear about your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. So speak your truth. Be honest with yourself. Be authentic. Concentrate on your best life regardless of the temporary outer conditions. Exactly. Everything is temporary. We are always changing, always moving. Each moment is a new moment. Each moment is another chance to turn it all around. It's from Vanilla Skies. You have a basket full of seeds and are quite powerful, for your talents are divinely inspired and will indeed lead to a great harvest to be shared with others. You will reap what you have sown. Yeah. Dream big, dream beautiful, take action, and tend to the garden of your life and experience the extraordinary. So be willing to do the work. Be willing to release the traumas that you have experienced. No, it's not your fault, but it is your job to work to release those traumas and heal your body, because you benefit by holding on to these traumas, by allowing them to exist within your body. You're just allowing illness to really come in. But when we can release these old energies from our body, they no longer serve us. Just release them. It's not an easy. I'm not saying it's easy if we don't, if it's not something we're accustomed to doing, but there are many ways that we can release these things from our body. So I've mentioned in other readings, yin yoga is a really great practice to release stored emotional energy from our joints. It can help with inflammation. I've been doing a lot of yin yoga lately, and it's been really, really helpful. It's quite boring. It's a little bit of a moving meditative practice, but it's really, really great. And so I would challenge you to kind of Google different ideas or different methods for releasing energy. Another one I can think of is acupuncture, because it focuses on the meridians where we can have blockages, and to get the energy flowing again. Another one is EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping. That is a really good therapy to also get the energy moving. It uses the meridian system as well, but we just tap on the points rather than using needles like in acupuncture. So we have breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. So yeah, I have a feeling that you're being called to just go inward, to step back, to stop worrying about what's going on outside. There's 3 different types of business. I've heard this before. There's your business, there's other people's business, and then there's God's business. And we have to be aware, whose business are we in? If we're spending a lot of time worrying about what other people think, what other people are doing, what other people have, we are not in our business. And if you are not in your business, you are not able to be in your full power. You are in your full power when you are in your business. It doesn't mean we don't care about other people, not at all. But it means that we focus where our focus is needed. And when we help ourselves, then we can help others. When we heal ourselves, then we can help heal others. But you have to do the work for yourself first in order to have that energy, those energy stores at a full battery, so that we can help other people. So do for yourself, then do for others, and don't micromanage the universe, because that's God's business, right? God's business is everything else. We have cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Often we have the most growth when we are under pressure, when we hit that all-time low. Could be with an addiction, could be with a relationship, could be with a job, but you're under so much pressure that you crack. You have a nervous breakdown or a mental breakdown, you have an anxiety attack, you have, it's not to say that this is a great place to be. It's the lowest point that each of us will ever be in our life. It's part of the dark night of the soul, when we hit that point where we're like, I need to make a change. I cannot go on living like this. And heaven forbid that anyone feels like they need to exit, but that is each soul's choice. I know that it's not a very religiously acceptable option, and I hope that nobody ever feels like death would be better than whatever they're going through in life, though I know there are terrible circumstances out there that people are experiencing every day. But I just hope that everybody can find that reason to just keep going, because when you hit the bottom, it can only go up from there. So releasing old patterns is going to be important for you. Letting go of old patterns. It could be people as well. You could do cord cutting is a really great practice. You can look that up on YouTube. Just cord cutting meditation. It will help you to visually imagine cutting energetic cords between you and people that you're having conflict with, or people that are no longer in your life. Your life is a canvas, artist manifestation, creative accountability. Manifestation, creative accountability. So I'm getting the sense that you don't necessarily realize how much input you have energetically in what happens to you. You may be feeling like things are going wrong and everything bad happens to me, but everything that happens to us is part of our lives. So we must take responsibility for them and begin to take ownership for how maybe something bad you manifested because you were unconscious of your input energetically in what happens. But the more you become aware, the more it is important to take that responsibility, because you do have such a valuable input, and you can positively influence your now moment and the next now moment. So that's going to be important. And art therapy may really be something that's helpful to you. Just painting or writing or singing. Portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. So letting go of fear is going to be important for you. Letting go of control, just giving that up, and just trusting in the choices that you make. Trust that your first inclination, like when you're picking the piles, the one that you're drawn to, sometimes there can be more than one. Sometimes you're gonna hesitate and maybe choose one that wasn't your first inclination. But if you go with that first inclination, that first urge, it's usually the right answer, the right one. So learning to trust your inner judgment, letting go of that distrust of forces outside of yourself. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups. Let's see here. Sometimes I like to put these together. It'll give me kind of a better message. I'm getting the sense that you need to take a step back and really realize all that you've accomplished, to take pride in your successes, to realize that you have come a long way, you're elevated. You continue to elevate yourself through your passions. And realize that you are a successful man or woman, or however you identify. And you are unique. There's nobody like you. You belong here. You're here to do good for the world. And you don't ever need to feel that just one person's contribution can't make a difference. It can. Of course it can. We just don't always see how. We just don't always see the evidence. We could feel it. We could feel how our positive contributions reverberate throughout the whole earth, especially when we do things with intention. And something is going to leave your life, or it may have already, but this is really going to strengthen you. It's really going to strengthen your resolve. It's going to be something beautiful out of something painful, something hard. You're going to grow a lot from this. And something new, something prosperous, maybe a new business opportunity, maybe a new job, maybe you're going to start a YouTube channel, maybe you're going to write a book. It's going to be something that you want to do, and something that you're proud of, and something that helps others, brings peace to the world, and grows and grows and grows. And another thing to release is this idea that magic is just a fairy tale. It's fiction. It's for kids. It's not real. It's just in the movies. We are our own magicians. We need to give ourselves permission again. So maybe you need to let go of the idea that you are not powerful, and to replace that with, yes, I am powerful. I am successful, I am elevated, I am passionate. I create. I cast spells with my words and my thoughts. So I am careful with my intention behind what I say and what I do and what I think. And the Wheel of Fortune. So in closing, get the sense that you need to let go of this clinging to certainty. Certainty is one of the basic human needs, but when we are overly attached to certainty, it can be very unhealthy, and you can feel like you would not be comfortable with leaving anything to chance. But sometimes part of life is actually living outside of your comfort zone, living outside the box a little bit, and often we don't. I'm reading a book right now that talks about the prisons that we create for ourselves, and one of the prisons is that we just do the same thing over and over again, expecting things to change, or expecting a solution, but we keep doing the same set of actions and getting the same result, and then we're surprised. But we need to begin to push ourselves a little bit further outside that box, outside that comfort zone, and then we can really have some growth, and we can really allow new, better, happier, healthier aspects of ourselves to come into our lives, and really embody those. I hope this reading was helpful for you, pile number 3, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a good night. Bye. Or have a good day. Bye.